They're back!
Somebody's hooked.
And I pronounce you man a knife.
You and your little psychotic gang of mutts. Today is payback. 6 pounds of pure plutonium is powerful enough to change the balance of the world. Imagine what 5 tons would do.
You're gonna need more men if you expect to get out of here alive.
I'm back. You can't let the contents of that safe fall into the wrong hands.
What's the plan?
Track him, find him, kill him.
The Expendables 2!
So the Expendables 2 takes place a few years after the first Expendables, and again, we have our crew headlined by, first of all, Sylvester Stallone,
Dolph Lundgren,
Jason Statham,
Jet Li,
Terry Crews,
Bruce Willis,
Randy Couture, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then
and
a Chuck Norris!
Chuck Norris!
And now they're facing off a new villain played by Jean-Claude Van Damme. Who's there to stop them? The Expendables. My collaborator, LCSteeler16, yet again. First of all, okay, we gotta touch upon the action sequences. The movie starts off with
a badass action scene.
yeah, a badass action scene. Not just a badass action scene, but a bad-ass action scene. It's over the top, it's bloody, it's gory, it's so violent. The movie starts off on a high note. I like how this movie just likes to have fun. They were just
Badass as
we have a crew of just awesome 80s action movies. It makes it even better, and we even let some newcomers like Terry Crews.
All Spice power, black and power.
We have Chuck Norris, a brand new newcomer who is an awesome addition to the Expendables, by the
Chuck
way.
Norris.
And honestly, when I heard Chuck Norris was going to be in this movie, I was thinking, you kidding me? Really? I think we've had enough of Chuck Norris, but I gotta tell you guys right now, for any of you that hate Chuck Norris, this movie may actually make you love Chuck Norris. Because now, I'm a huge fan of Chuck Norris after seeing
Because of me.
This introduction scene is one of the most badass intros I've seen for any character. If you do go see this movie, go see it with a packed theater. You will have a fun time with this movie. No doubt about that. The acting is really cheesy, but you know what? It's the cheesy acting that you have so much fun with.
Good cheese.
Especially with Terry Crews' acting.
Dolph Lundgren was pretty good.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren was pretty good. Another thing going back to the acting was the references they made to other old action films. And even Arnold Schwarzenegger busts in some classic lines in the movie.
Yeah, I'm nude.
You just can't go wrong with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm so glad he's back into action films. It's just a blast of the past for old school 80s action movies. Another thing I loved, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Holy shit, was he awesome. Jean-Claude Van Damme was a very menacing villain when he was on screen. I loved how all the guys had their major action sequences too. Everybody's gonna be saying Chuck Norris was the best one out of all of them, simply because he's fucking Chuck Norris.
There's like not that much cursing, but it's good for this kind of film. It doesn't drop too many F-bombs.
Liam Hemsworth was really good in this movie. We know it was just a major action movie, but you had to have at least a bit of plot. And from what the plot sucked, we have to say. After the first major action sequence, Jet Li was nowhere to be found. I wanted more Jet Li, and I wanted more of Jean-Claude Van Damme. So overall, The Expendables 2 is a very fun time. It's a huge blast of the past for old 80s action movies like Commando, and Rambo, Terminator, and so forth. If you're a huge fan of action movies, this is definitely your cup of tea. It's so much better than the first Expendables.
See it!
Had a fun time with it. Other than the plot, which isn't too good, I'm gonna give The Expendables 2 a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It is the most surprising film of the summer. I had a hell of a time with it.
My rating for The Expendables 2 is, I definitely think it's one of my favorite movies of the year. It might be on my list for top 10 at the end of the year. It's definitely gonna be in my top 5 summer films. I'm gonna give this movie a 4.25 out of 5 stars. I loved it that much. Especially because of Chuck Norris!
Alright, so that was our review of The Expendables 2.
Seriously, do it. Do it. Do it.